Hey, I'm Steven and this is Solving the Money Problem. If you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. So Elon Musk spoke with Joe Rogan on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast yesterday. The conversation ran for a whopping 3+ hours. There's a link in the description to the full discussion if you guys have time to check it out. In this video, I'm going to share my reaction to some of the highlights. There weren't a huge number of revolutionary, groundbreaking pieces of information, but lots of little nuanced insights here and there. So let's get into the video. But first, hey guys, if you'd like to help out the channel and get up to 2 free stocks, check out the link in the description to WeBull. If you open a new account, you'll get 1 free stock valued up to $250 just for opening an account. And if you fund your account with $100, you'll get a second free stock valued up to $1,600. Unless you don't like free stocks, that is. And if you're in Australia, the UK or New Zealand, you can get a free stock with stake also using the link in the description. Let's get back to it. Elon Musk provided an update on Tesla's new Roadster, which goes into production next year in 2022. Elon was suggesting that with the SpaceX package, and for those of you guys who don't actually know, they're literally integrating SpaceX cold gas thruster technology into the Roadster, a vehicle with SpaceX thrusters. Now, there's a few reasons for this. Of course, part of this is to just provide absolutely ridiculous acceleration. My estimate for Tesla Roadster's new 0 to 60 time is close to 1 second with the SpaceX thruster package. Now, I don't have proof of this, but I'm happy to put that on the record. In either case, Elon Musk was asked by Joe Rogan whether or not the Roadster will be able to hover. Elon Musk's response was effectively, yes, I would like it to hover, just trying to figure out how to do this without actually killing the passengers. Maybe we can limit it to being able to hover to about a height of 1 meter or so. Worst case scenario, if something goes wrong, you drop, you might wreck the suspension, but nobody's going to get injured. Can we all just take a moment to appreciate how absolutely ridiculous and insane the very idea of using cold gas thrusters in a vehicle is? Now, for those of you that don't know, these same cold gas thrusters are the things that are used to orient the skyscraper-sized SpaceX boosters as they're coming back down to Earth. This is serious business. Of course, these gas thrusters will not only be able to contribute to insane acceleration, but in theory, could also contribute to extra safety. Imagine you're taking a corner too fast, but you've got a gas thruster that can push you back a little bit so you don't actually go flying and careening over the side of a cliff. Now, I'm not suggesting that this will be included feature, but I can imagine that Elon and the team at Tesla are trying to not only allow this to enhance the performance, but also the safety of the Roadster, so stay tuned for that. Elon Musk also confirmed that Cybertruck should go into limited production from Tesla's Austin Gigafactory, which, by the way, I paid a visit to just a couple of days ago. Jesus, that thing is massive. I mean, damn, you really have to see it in person to appreciate the scale. And the speed at which this thing is going up is absolutely staggering. When I was there earlier this week, they were already putting up some of the walls. I mean, what even is this? I won't be surprised if by Q3 this year we start to see limited production from some of Tesla's vehicles, and by Q4, probably even some Cybertrucks coming off production lines. Maybe if things go well, they could reach higher volumes than Elon was hinting at, but I guess it's a conservative estimate. Ramping up a new product like the Cybertruck, new manufacturing techniques, a few things could go wrong, but in either case, Elon was quite confident that Cybertruck will reach volume production by 2022. And he said something very interesting too, suggesting that the Cybertruck is really going to transform the look of roads. Now, if we take a moment to actually let that sink in and appreciate the implications, I have a funny feeling that Elon's not just suggesting, yeah, you'll occasionally see a Cybertruck and it'll look weird, but there'll be so many of these things that they will be dominating roads. Now, of course, this will take time, but I really think that Elon has some inside information. He knows how many reservations Tesla has for the Cybertruck, has a real idea of the demand, and seems pretty confident that Tesla is going to be selling a shit ton of Cybertrucks in the future, so that's going to be fun to see play out. Elon Musk also reiterated Tesla's intent to very likely produce a van. This has got to happen. I forecast this about a year ago on the channel, Tesla's secret van, which is not really much of a secret when nearly 500,000 people watched that video, but this was obvious as hell. It was always part of Tesla's master plan to cover all forms of terrestrial transport. Obviously that would include a van, obviously that would include a compact car, duh. So it's good to see that Elon's given this some additional thought. And he even suggested the possibility maybe of including either solar on the roof of the van and or a solar array which can actually expand out to triple or so in size once the van is stationary. So just imagine all of those van life folks who could potentially take an electric Tesla off-grid for months at a time, build in plumbing, shower, all the kind of things you need to actually live long term, get out into the wilderness, even people who want to do some camping and stuff like that. I think there's going to be an enormous market for this. Obviously, if Tesla wasn't cell constrained, they would be morons to not already have a van on the market, but Unfortunately, they are cell constrained, otherwise we'd already have a Tesla van. In either case, stay tuned for that in a couple of years. Not only will the van be great for passenger vehicles, but for deliveries, utilities, etc. So this is a huge potential untapped market Tesla really needs to get into. I know there's going to be other first movers here, which is a shame, and we already know the Cybertruck itself has onboard power, onboard air compression, etc. Just imagine taking that to a next level and actually having a fully functional van, something similar to a Mercedes Sprinter van, allowing people to go off-grid for long periods of time on sustainable energy with rooftop solar to power everything. And of course, Elon was also asked about whether or not Tesla will produce an electric aircraft in the future. This topic has come up many times over the last few years since it was originally asked at one of Tesla's shareholder meetings. However, for the first time, Elon seemed a little bit non-committal. First of all, suggesting that his brain will explode if he takes on any more projects. Fair call. You can only do so much. But he also didn't seem very interested in the idea of Tesla themselves producing this, suggesting that no other automaker makes aircrafts at this point in time. So the question I have, is Elon thinking that if he does ever in the future produce an electric aircraft, this will be under a whole new company, maybe even under SpaceX? Or maybe he's just hoping that somebody else competent can come along and do it for him. Elon Musk did say something very profound, however, suggesting that the logical order for product rollout was electric vehicles, then electric trucks, then electric boats, then electric aircraft. And we already know that electric aircraft are only a few years away, call it 3, 4, 5 years until they're viable. Does that mean Tesla may in the future produce electric boats, or is this another one of those product lines that Elon's just hoping somebody else will take care of? Let me know in the comments below. Do you think it's possible that Tesla will develop a boat at some point in the future? And once again, I just want to put this on the record. I have a very high level of confidence that the Cybertruck has been engineered to float across water and will in fact be able to cross relatively still bodies of water. Let's find out in a few months' time. Elon also had some fascinating insights into modern advanced airbag technology, suggesting that we may in fact have come full circle to the point where seatbelts themselves may no longer be necessary in vehicles that have advanced airbag safety. Now, a few people might be freaking out thinking what a crazy thing to say, but if you understand the physics, Elon went on to explain that every Tesla is constantly, like in real time, understanding who's sitting where. How big is this passenger? What's their mass? Is it an adult? Is it a child? Which part of the seat are they on? This side, that side, and adjusting how airbags will deploy in real time in this feedback loop. So if there's an accident, if there's a collision, the airbags know exactly when, where, and how to deploy to optimize and maximize the safety of each individual passenger within the vehicle. Now, we already know that Tesla makes the world's safest vehicles with the lowest probability of injury of any vehicles ever tested, period. But I had no idea to the extent that Tesla was actually managing the safety within their vehicles in real time. Unbelievable. So moving on from Tesla's products and features now to some more general comments. Elon Musk had a fascinating statement suggesting that he thinks that Austin will be the biggest boomtown in the United States in the last 50 years. And fancy that. Just a couple of days prior to these comments from Elon Musk, I said this on my Instagram stories. Hey Instagram, hope you're all doing well. To anyone that lives in the United States, I'm just going to put this on the record. Austin real estate, gangbusters. I reckon within 5 years we'll see real estate prices in Austin double or more. Imagine that. Do Elon and I know something that you guys don't? Maybe. Anyway, let's move on before I get myself in trouble. Elon Musk also divulged for the first time that he'd heard from friends, so it's not confirmed, but on relatively good authority, that at least at some point in the past, Bill Gates held a short position on Tesla stock. All I can say is it's a good thing that Bill has a couple of billion in the bank to sustain such catastrophic losses, because man, how'd that work out, Bill? And the biggest bombshell of all on the podcast, in my opinion, was when Elon Musk divulged that he'd actually had a conversation with the incoming Biden administration suggesting that they enact a carbon tax, to which they respond, no. Now, Joe and Elon spent quite a bit of time here discussing this point, trying to understand why on earth the Biden administration wouldn't even consider enacting a carbon tax when it's the most obvious solution to help price in that unpriced externality and force the economy into doing the right things. Now, I don't want to make this a partisan issue here, I'm not taking sides, but it does seem a little strange. Unless, of course, you're of the belief that politicians in general will just say and do what they need to get elected and don't actually give a fuck about anything other than themselves. Elon also provided an update on the Starlink broadband internet service, a SpaceX subsidiary for now. Eventually it will IPO according to Elon Musk when the cash flow is a little bit more predictable. This is now a public service. Anybody can sign up, get on the wait list, get their hardware and get connected. I don't think people are understanding the implications here. Let me try and spell it out in the simplest possible terms. Today, around half of the world's population has internet access. Half does not. Around 4 billion people today currently do not have access to the internet. If we think about the geography of the planet Earth, the vast majority of the actual planet, the surface of the planet, including over the oceans, the Himalayas, the jungles of Peru, etc., either has no internet access or very shoddy internet access at best. Starlink is solving this problem. Do you guys start to understand the implications of this business? It's going to be huge, and nobody else can compete with Starlink because nobody else can launch satellites as affordably as SpaceX can. Even if somebody wants to compete with Starlink, their only option at this point in time is to pay SpaceX for hundreds or thousands of launches, which means extra revenue for SpaceX. I've never seen a situation like this, where one company has such a monopoly because of technology, reusable rockets, that it's not possible for anybody to compete economically, period. Starlink is going to be one of the world's most important and valuable companies in just a few years' time. Mark my words. And now on to a few of the more light-hearted moments from the podcast, the first of which was when Elon Musk was discussing Neuralink and suggesting that in the future, a Neuralink implant will be able to provide you with, how shall we say, seriously toe-curling orgasms. And it was also quite fun to watch Elon Musk cackle and laugh himself into a stupor over the idea of exploding canisters of bull jizz. Yes, you heard me right. I did say bull jizz.
So that you had basically exploding bull jizz all over the place. It's come everywhere.
Nobody wants that, right?
Yeah,
who's that helping?
Clean up on aisle 9 or whatever.
And on that rather disgusting note, I'm going to wrap this video up. I'm Stephen Mark Ryan. This is Solving the Money Problem, and I love you all. And don't forget, if you'd like to help out the channel and get up to 2 free stocks, check out the link in the description to WeBull. If you open a new account, you'll get 1 free stock valued up to $250 just for opening an account. And if you fund your account with $100, you'll get a second free stock valued up to $1,600. And if you're in Australia, the UK or New Zealand, you can get a free stock with stake also using the link in the description. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, if you have any ideas for future videos, let me know. I read all your comments. P.S. If you're still watching, you're awesome. If you'd like early access, exclusive videos, regular Q&As, our private Discord server and more, consider supporting the channel at patreon.com/solvingthemoneyproblem so I can keep creating content for you guys. There's a link in the description. You can now also become a member of the channel for some exclusive perks. To learn more, click the join button next to subscribe. And don't forget to check out our merch store. Either way, the best form of support is you being here and watching, so thanks again.